guys, it's Hadassah Monique. I am just here to show you guys how you can use more than one type of deck in a card reading. So let's just get started. If you happen to be viewing this video off my blog or your Tumblr dash, don't forget to hit the follow button so that you are up to date and know your questions have been answered. All right, so I'm going to be showing you how to read more than one deck using the Doreen Virtue Romance Angel Oracle deck, Doreen Virtue's Angel Answers, and the Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Which one was this? This one's the fairy one. So this one is... So this deck is good for abundance or career or financial situations. This is good for yes, no, maybe questions or whatever. And obviously this is good for, relationships. And the reason why I'm combining these is to show you many ways that you can get answers when you're consulting your cards. So I'm going to aim the camera here at the deck, and then I will be using the voiceover to explain how all of this works using myself as the guinea pig. The question that I had was in regards to what is it that I really need to know right now. And I let my thoughts sort of wander into everything, all territories that, I let my thoughts wander through different things that are happening around like right now. And so the first card that I pulled up was one of balance. And since this card is one about abundance, I'm thinking this is about my bank balance, being that my finances are a little bit wonky and I'm spending a little bit maybe too much here and there, but I'm sort of getting there to a point where I don't really feel the need to purchase anything. So even though this is saying take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution, take your time, there's no need to rush, it's not necessarily talking about the work that I'm doing, but it's also talking about my bank balance. And this is basically the first thing that came to mind when I saw this card is about also my bank balance and balancing what I want with what I need and sort of meeting in between. Also, this card, as I was shuffling, I was thinking about whether or not I needed to go to work. What is it that I need to know right now? Well, it's telling me that it's really up to me whether or not I want to go back into traditional work. I could actually still work. I'm a little limited to how much I can put in, but this is telling me that it's really up to me whether or not I want to go back into the field. And the last card right here is about my current relationship with my boyfriend. This one is saying to express your love and go ahead and make the romantic gesture. I have a really big issue with this. I am not a very expressive person, so this makes sense to me. All of it really does make sense to me. So when I'm doing my readings for myself, I like to combine cards because as you can see, you can get a lot of information using different decks. So if you have questions regarding your career, your love life, what directions you should take, or your spiritual path, there is a deck for just about all of that. And that is the reason why I like to combine decks when I'm doing my own readings. When I do other people's readings, I don't necessarily like to combine too many decks because it does take up a lot of time. And let's just be honest here, I'm a little bit of I like to rush through things even when I do enjoy doing stuff. I have this it's actually kind of funny because this right here is saying that I need to calm down. But I have this habit and I just kind of like speed through it without really the intention of doing that. With doing it, I just do it without realizing. And this is pretty much telling me to take things slow on top of balancing my bank account and balancing need with want. And this tells me everything about that. So, like I said, it's up to you whether or not you want to use more than one deck. You are your own expert. You know how to interpret your cards just like I have, even though this one doesn't really say much about balancing my bank account. That is the very first thing that I thought of when I saw this was balance. And what I was thinking about was my bank account. So this was how I interpret it. And you want to interpret your cards however way that you want. So that was just wanted to show you guys how this is done. It's very simple, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to show you another example of how you can read with multiple decks. I'm going to be using the Abundance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, the Akashic Record by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra Ann Taylor. And I'm going to bring back the Fairy Tarot Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. A general direction on where I should be, what should I be doing with the spare time that I have. So I'm going to be, let's see here. Maybe I should do something more. What can I do to bring more abundance in my life? I like to think about my situation and everything that I have gone through, everything that's led up to this point. And I sort of focus on those things as I'm shuffling. And I'm thinking about my question. And this is how I do my readings and all readings actually. And if possible, if I'm doing a reading for somebody else, I look at their picture or I will stare at their username or their initials to get an answer. I'm just going to do one card reading. That way I'm not taking up so much time. I really wanted to also show the usage of more than one tarot deck. If you're doing like a spread that it includes more than one card, you can do it like that too. I just wanted to do one card reading just to make this as short and sweet. Okay, so I'm doing this is a one card reading using 3 decks, okay? So the first card is the Lovers, and this says, true love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. So even though my question was more so about my finances and the like, is giving me an answer to a question that I had in my head beforehand. So sometimes when you do your readings, it doesn't always answer the question that you want answered. It in fact answers the question that you don't want to ask, if you know what I mean. So the first card is the Lovers. The second card is the Queen of Forces, which is also called the Queen of Swords, who that is symbolizing a woman who tends to be emotional, kind of high driven, someone who is into technology, someone who's very smart and into sciences and tends to think logically. That is a woman that is very also intuitive, has mood disorders or mood issues, is kind of, like I said, wishy-washy, explosive one minute and calm the next. This pretty much is explaining how I've been lately, since I am almost that time of the month. So that makes sense. And this card, I haven't really seen this one before. This one is called Unlimited Ideas. It says your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided action to allow those ideas to come to fruition. So this is pretty much explaining my abilities to connect with my higher self and use my intuition. And it tells me exactly what I need to know, not what I want to know. And this is a very good example. What this whole reading was telling me is that, you know, this one card reading is reminding me that I am a very intelligent woman and that I have infinite amount of love around me and the intuition needed to connect with my higher self and God. And that is what's going to give me an abundant life right now. So those are the things that I need to focus on right now while I am cooped up in this place for the unforeseeable future with this whole pandemic thing. Well, if anything, I hope that this was a little helpful. I might do another video on how to do a full card spread reading using more than one deck. That is going to be a very long video, so I haven't yet decided whether or not I want to do it. But I figured if you know how to do this with one card, you can do this with multiple cards. So unless it is requested, I'm not going to do a full spread reading with using multiple card decks unless it's requested. Once again, this is Hadassah Monique and I am the Stone Priestess. Don't forget to check out my blog and thank you for watching. If you happen to be viewing this video off my blog or your Tumblr dash, don't forget to hit the follow button so that you are up to date and know your questions have been answered.